Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. This is the show that's going to help you become your best self, and I am excited about today's topic. It is something that I haven't talked about yet in the show, which is kind of crazy because I've been going at this for over a year with so many episodes. I'm surprised I haven't come about it. That's not what I wanted to say. I'm going to leave it in. But anyway, but before I get to that, I just encourage you to come join me in my little mindset motivational party that I like to have on Instagram, which is at Sabrina Joy Perozzo. Or if you'd like to talk to me in the voice flesh on Clubhouse, I am at Sabrina J Perozzo, or send me an email with any questions, comments, concerns, prayer requests, feedback, topic suggestions, or just to say hey, hi, and hello to me, realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. I would love to talk to you, hear from you, and sometimes I give out coffee gift cards. If you do, contact me. But in regards to what we're talking about today we're talking about it's perfectly okay to cry. So sometimes you just can't help it. And sometimes you are just overwhelmed with emotions and feel like the best release you can have is crying. And I totally agree with this. I even cried today. I'm not kidding. I cried today because I had kind of a stressful day and I just needed to let it out, and it was going to be the best way for me to relieve my stress in the moment. And I have always felt this way, even when I was told that crying is unacceptable and displays weakness. Yep, that's what I was told when I was growing up. It's because I always feel at least a little bit better after getting the cry out, and will feel worse over time if I don't release the emotions somehow. And at least crying, you can do that anywhere. Like other things that I do to release this kind of stress and pain would be to work out, but I don't always have an opportunity to lift weights or even go for a run, and sometimes maybe not even a walk, right? A good walk usually will help me, because if I'm able to just get my body moving, I'm just like, okay, I can release this. But even then, I usually will still cry. I'll still cry and then do something else to get the rest of it out. It just feels so good. I feel really relieved. And I'm sure I'm not alone in this, So for me growing up, I was told not to cry, and I'm sure this has happened to many other people. And it's because it can be seen as a weakness, as most displays of emotion and vulnerability can be seen this way. And it's not tolerated by a lot of people or families. I know a lot of people that I grew up with, and they had families where they had to be tough. They had to have this really steel, tough exterior. No crying, no whining, no complaining. And I don't endorse complaining or whining, but sometimes you need to vent and let your emotions out. But, the crying part, I'm like, you should let them cry, but, let me be over here and mind my business. But did this happen to you? Did you feel like growing up or at some point in your childhood, young adulthood, that people were telling you that it's inappropriate to cry? You're weak if you cry. It's displaying your vulnerability is stupid. Like, these are the things that I have been told and I've witnessed in other people's lives. So my father wanted us, me and him, to always look like a strong little family, which included not being affected by anything that happened to us. My father was definitely a reactive type, so he would react with anger, at home towards me, or towards sometimes the woman that he was dating at the time. But in any other situation, it was all smiles and rainbows and pretending like he was the best single dad ever, and that there were no problems, and his kid was like shining gold star, perfect princess, everything. It was a lot to live up to, because I wanted to cry and be sad, but it was just like, no, buck up, we got to do this together. And I'm sure I'm not alone in this. I'm sure there's other kids that went through that, whether you were raised by a single parent or not, like me. Well, I was raised by a single parent. I said that backwards, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm sure that some people have gone through this, or someone in your life that has gone through this. But I want you to know that it doesn't have to be this way at all. You can be emotional. You can cry. You can be vulnerable and still be seen and considered to be a strong and capable person. It doesn't diminish who you are or what you're capable of either. It's a normal human function and reaction to whatever causes you to have those feelings. Again, it's normal. Crying is normal. It's a normal human response to pain, frustration, sadness, so many emotions. And, it's brought out by different experiences depending on the individual. People are going to cry about things that are sad, things that make them angry, things that make them happy. It kind of freaks my husband out when I decide to cry. I don't decide, rather, it just wells up in me. When I'm happy, when I have happy tears, it just really like kind of freaks him out. But I'm always like, it's okay, it's happy tears, it's a good thing. It's just I feel like I'm a very emotional person, and I'm okay with that. I used to not be okay with that, but I'm okay with it now, and I've been okay with it for a few years. And I just encourage you that if you feel like you are struggling with this, where you feel like you can't be your true emotional self, that you may be hiding from everyone else, I encourage you to kind of just slowly let it go, because you'll just feel so much better. You will feel so much better. But yeah, so crying is normal. So normal. And it's also very helpful for releasing the stress that can come with these experiences, just like letting it all out. And crying is also a representation of allowing yourself to cry is also a representation of how comfortable you are with yourself, which also demonstrates how important emotional health is to you, and can also set the example for others that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry. And I think that crying is actually a sign of strength, that you are able to be that open and bare without caring what other people think, or at least not caring a whole lot. I know that a lot of times it's very difficult for us to step completely away from, really considering and, wanting to be concerned with what other people think about us. But if you're able to really accept that it's okay for you to be vulnerable and experience those emotions, and you will be such a great role model for someone else. And yeah, maybe you don't want to be a role model, but all of us are, whether you want to or not. It's a fact that I have been really pushing for the last couple of years. And it was actually some sort of thing I won't go into. It's a social media thing that happened that really got me on my soapbox about, we are all role models, whether you chose to be or not. So you really need to be displaying yourself in your most true, authentic self, okay? And really believe in that, and understand that if you are deciding to break the rules and saying that it's okay for you and not others, you're acting hypocritical. And you also should just do what's right. But that's a whole different discussion for another day. But yeah, so crying is so good. It is a sign of strength. Remember that. The next time that you have to cry, just remember it's a sign of strength, because you're actually letting it out. You're not just keeping it locked in, keeping it tucked away, and allowing it to just be all, caught up in your heart and mind, and sweeping it under the rug for it to erupt like a volcano someday. Because for sure, if you do that continuously over and over again, it will erupt. It will happen. So you don't want to do that. Just let it go. Just let it be free. And I know it's easier said than done, but like I said earlier, slowly allowing it to, be released out of you will help it become easier and easier over time. So today I want to talk about why crying is a good experience for all of us. Children, teens, adults, older people, everyone, anyone and everyone. So today I have like three reasons basically why crying is great. So the first reason is it's great for self-soothing. According to research, crying releases oxytocin and endorphins, which help you ease the pain you are experiencing and bring calm after it's over. So if you've ever spent time crying, and you just really, especially if you're crying for a while, right? You just find yourself continuously crying for a little bit, and then you feel like it's being released. The feelings and the emotions and everything you're going through, they do feel like they're kind of pouring out of you. And once you get to the end of your cry time, however long that is, just so you can cry as long as you need to. That is your prerogative. But then you feel better. You feel like you've been released. You feel like a weight has been lifted off you. And yeah, no, it's not going to fix everything. It's not magic. These tears aren't magic, but they are going to make you feel a little better and a little bit lighter. And you're not carrying around this emotional baggage in addition to whatever else you've been carrying around, right? And it also brings you calm. Traditionally they say that oxytocin causes a calm, and that's like that release in you will help you just be calm after the cry, and which can put you in a good headspace to really figure out what you need to do next to fix the situation or move forward from the situation or help someone else with the situation, like whatever it is, because there's going to be different instances of crying and getting through whatever experience is causing you to feel this way, right? So it is great for self-soothing, especially if you feel like you are alone in whatever experience you're going through at the time, whether it's temporary or for a long period of time, you have to deal with this on your own. It's a great way to self-soothe and take care of yourself. The second one I want to mention is crying can help you move forward, which I'm sure you're like, how? It makes you, because I feel like a lot of people look at crying as something that helps you or that causes you to dwell on the situation, on the moment. And I don't think that's true, because one thing, sometimes you just like have a memory or something triggers you to remember this experience, or remember something that reminds you of maybe if someone has passed, or maybe you didn't get the job, or maybe you're super excited because you got surprised with something that's such a great gift, or maybe you're having your first child, like whatever it is, right? Because I'm pretty sure that I cried when my baby came out. Oh my gosh. Yes, I had lots of happy tears. And I think my husband did too. And but it does help you move forward. You might think that it causes you to sit in that space and dwell on it, but really you're releasing those feelings. You're releasing them out of your body. Crying will help you release the pent-up emotions and not feel the need to hold on to whatever happened, right? Whether good or bad, you're letting it out. And letting it out is similar to letting it go. And letting things go can really help you move forward in your life. Again, whether it's positive or negative, because for me, I'm crying because my daughter has just been brought into the world by me and my husband. And I'm so excited, but I'm so excited to meet her and move forward, to be her mom in person on the outside world, and to love her and take care of her, right? But in like a sad situation, also if someone has passed away, like I remember crying a lot when my mom died. But crying multiple times continued to help me take small steps, can like hit small milestones of moving forward to be able to not necessarily like get over her death, because I still miss her after over 20 years, but to be stable enough to remember her in a positive way and not allow it to continuously break my heart as it was for so many years. So every time I was crying and releasing those emotions and those feelings, it was helping me to move forward in dealing with this for the future. So I believe that crying can definitely help you move forward. And the last one I want to talk about is crying can restore emotional balance. It's interesting, right? So according to a Yale University research study, crying can help restore emotional equilibrium, because whether you are crying because you're happy or sad, which we've discussed how you can do both, it allows your body to recover from such strong emotions by letting it out through tears. So again, if you're experiencing a death in your family, it's a lot of emotions and you have a lot of tears and you're disappointed and sad. And I do want to jump into the fact that I know, not everyone cries. Not everyone feels like they need to cry. But if you feel like you don't need to cry, or you know someone that feels like they don't need to cry, you should ask yourself, or if you're comfortable, ask them, why? Like, why not? And there's no shaming in this. Like, if you just don't want to cry, then fine. Don't do it. You got to do what's best for you. But are you holding something back? Are you purposely not doing it? Are you afraid because you think it's going to make you look weak? Think you're going to be too vulnerable? Think you're going to give away who you are and what you're all about, right? Really ask yourself those questions if you feel like you are not crying because maybe you think you're just cool and calm, but you really just have this super tough boundary up that you just didn't even realize was there, and you need to kind of break it down so you can actually understand who you are more, create more self-awareness, fall deeper in love with yourself. It sounds like I'm laughing and kidding, which I'm trying to be very light and playful with it, but I'm super serious. Self-awareness is key. So anyway, back to the example though. Crying can restore emotional balance. I don't know why I decided to take that tangent there, but I did. So again, It can restore the emotional equilibrium by, recovering, allowing your body to recover from such strong emotions by letting those tears out. So if someone passes away, you're grieving, you're sad, but you're kind of like crying it out. But if you're happy, you got surprised with something super special, you had your kiddo, or you are excited that you got into college or got a new car or whatever it is, or you're getting engaged, right? You're getting engaged. I believe I cried at my engagement. You cry and you are having such strong emotions. And by allowing yourself to cry and get those tears out, which is also releasing those emotions, you're able to, again, help restore your body to that emotional equilibrium, that emotional balance that you need so that you are able to handle whatever comes at you next, good, bad, neutral, whatever it may be. So I think crying is fantastic. I think it's so helpful. For the first few years, my husband thought that me crying was like a really bad thing. And I was always telling him, I just need to cry it out. And I always tell my daughter, it's okay to cry. It's totally fine. My husband gets it now. He understands. It's just like a way for me to release my emotions. And even he does sometimes, and which is so great. I think it's so wonderful when I see someone I care about, man or woman, that just is so vulnerable to allow themselves to cry and to really release their emotions and feelings. I know that it can cause uncomfortability in other people, even in me sometimes, because if you're with someone that you haven't spent a lot of time with or you don't understand how to, interpret their emotions, you don't know what to do, then you can feel very awkward. But if you are just jump in there and ask them, like, can I do something for you? Or can I comfort you anyway? And that can be really awkward at first. But if you just jump in and try to figure out what you can do, if you just need to sit there and comfort them and just smile with them or hold their hand or give them a hug, it can make the situation a lot easier. So I can see how it can be super uncomfortable for someone else, where you're like, it's okay to cry, but I don't know what to do. I just got to jump in there and ask them, what do you need to do to help out? So I hope that this has really helped someone, because I do find that it seems like this weird taboo thing to not cry, to not let your emotions out, to not just be true and authentic to who you are, especially when it comes to your feelings and emotions. So I want to encourage you to do that and to share that with your friends and family. But that's all I have to say about this topic. So thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast, again with me, Sabrina. I hope that this has helped you. Again, thank you so much for listening, downloading, and sharing the show. I really appreciate it. You are helping me make my dreams come true of being hopefully a speaker on stages to encourage and motivate people, and also write a book and write a workbook and really be able to offer my help in, restoring mindset and, really encouraging people to be their true authentic self day in and day out as a regular job someday. But again, thank you so much for listening. Hit me up on Instagram at Sabrina Joy Perozzo, or on Clubhouse, Sabrina at Sabrina J Perozzo, or an email with any questions, comments, concerns, prayer requests, feedback, topic suggestions, or just to say hey, hi, and hello to me, realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. But until next time, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.